Music. Give them some love. Why? 'Cause we're perfect. We're glowing with the Spirit of the living God. Look around the room for those of you who are here in the room. And those of you who are all around the globe, just look at whoever you're celebrating life with at this moment and allow yourself to begin to feel and to see the glorious nature of every being that you are. With remove all sense of judgment. I think it was Marcus Aurelius that said that thinking is so hard for people, so they just rest in judgment. So we want to come into right thinking, eliminate judgment, and begin to see each other as emissaries of light, ambassadors of the all-good, the light that lights up every being that comes to the planet. We want to hold that particular space as we celebrate the life divine together. As I have said over the years, we come into a spiritual community not to beg God for anything, but we come to celebrate everything that's being broadcast, everything that's being given, everything that is radiating from the Godhead, which is at the center of everything, because the center is everywhere. We come to celebrate and to worship, celebrate and to worship, same thing, so that that which is being given to totally can be received. In other words, God has given us everything. We must be gracious enough to accept it. We must rise up in our graciousness and say, I'm receiving it, I'm available, I'm open. I say, yes, use me. Shine through me. And oftentimes the circuit isn't complete because individuals aren't gracious enough to receive the eternal gift that has been given. They come, they. The vibration of recept ity with all manner of gckh dirt debris covering the perception, so that they can't see nor receive the eternal gift that is eternally being given. Say with me this moment, I'm living in the rapture of receptivity. I'm live the rapture. I'm available to more good than I've ever imagined. I'm available to more good than now and forever and in all ways, now and forever. In I receive and express the glory of the living one. I receive glory of live. We're allowing that to permeate our subconscious, permeate our awareness, and obviously you know by now that it is your subconscious that rules your life. It is subconscious that contain all of your personal law, so that even if you're consciously thinking about something you want to be, your subconscious mind will rule you. It always reminds me of that metaphor of the man riding the elephant heading north, but the elephant is going south. In other words, we have a consciousness that wants to go north, but our subconscious mind is going south. The subconscious has all kinds of thoughts and beliefs and perceptions that are taking us in different directions. So the inner work that we are doing in our prayer work, our meditation, our life visioning is to ultimately establish a new law within ourselves, so that the conscious mind and the subconscious mind are united, and when two are gathered, conscious and subconscious, the superconscious mind takes over, and now you are lifted beyond that which you have been living in, that little paradigm, into realms beyond your wildest imagining. I'm just listening to what I'm saying today because I had no idea I was even going to say any of this. But it feels good to me. What about you? So listen, the topic of the day or the theme of the month. Have you heard the reading? Did you like that reading? I thought it was pretty good, the both of them. Now right seeing to right being. Let's live. We want to come to understanding that when we're seeing right, seeing is seeing reality, capital R reality. What is reality? Reality is an eternal presence of love and the beauty and abundance and joy and opulence and harmony and wholeness and divine order that's everywhere, proliferating itself from the divine mind all the way through the multidimensional cosmos, all the way to the multi-trans, the multiverses and all of nature. There is a realm of good that is everywhere in its fullness, and that we are here to rightly see that, and as that becomes activated within us, we begin to be that, we begin to be our real self now. The issue is most people are only seeing their thoughts and only hearing the thoughts in their awareness. This is why Yeshua ben Joseph said, in substance, they have eyes but see not, and they have ears but they hear not. Individuals have eyes and ears, but the only thing that they're seeing are their own thinking. In us, only thing that they're hearing are their own thinkness, their own opinions, their own points of view, their own limited perceptions. And now you might think you are praying to get something, but you are praying for your own inner transformation, so that you may see that what you are praying for you already have, that you may see that what you are praying for is already within you. And if you catch it and begin to rightly see, and then begin To rightly vibrate with what you're seeing so that becomes your being, then the conditions of your life change. Because they are the coagulated thought forms that have condensed themselves into circumstances that will begin to shift the entire universe, will begin to bend itself AC according to your particular right seeing, your particular right being. Therefore, when you hear Yeshua be Joseph there in the book of, I think it was the book of John, where he's talking about the fact, not only have I come here to make the blind see, I've come to make those that see blind. In other words, that particular paradoxical statement means those people who are full of their own opinions and think they're right, I've come to blind them to that nonsense so they can begin to see that which is real. We's talking about the Pharisees and those who thought they understood the right use of the law and all of that particular thing. He says you are blind to the truth, you're caught up in the letter of the law, you can't even see reality because you're full of yourself. So he came to say, I've come with judgment to not only make those that are blind see, but I've come those who think they are seeing to become blind to their inner opinions of other people, inner opinions of the world, inner opinion of anything, that they may begin to see that which is real. We stand as a transformational spiritual community saying the same thing, that most people are living in an idea realm of their own thoughts and opinions and points of view, of which much of it hasn't even come from themselves, not even self-generated. It has come from propaganda, it has come from religions that have lost their salt and savor, it has come from all manner of things in the world that people begin to form opinions based on, not an insight into reality that you get when you pray and meditate, but it comes from the milieu of thought forms that sweep through the human consciousness, otherwise not called race consciousness. You don't want that stuff on you. You want to wake up every single day, take a breath, establish yourself as an established being in the light and the love and the beauty and the harmony, the wholeness, the opulence, the abundance, the joy that is everywhere, that catch a feeling tone of that dynamic. Breathe into that dynamic. Ask that you may see reality. Ask that you may see that which is real, so you transcend and transmute your thought forms that have served you as complaining, served you as excuses as to why you're not happy. You want to open yourself up and begin to see a whole another dynamic. In other words, somewhere along the line your soul is saying to you, you were born to win, you were born to win. You were born to willingly initiate nobility. That is what win means. You were born to willingly initiate nobility. Nobility is the development of that moral high-quality character that infuses your personality, so you're not trying to be more superior than anyone else. You're constantly living on the edge of being more superior to your previous self, and so you end up becoming a noble being. I remember a friend of mine who passed in 2010. We traveled to Peru together. His name was Robert Mueller, the assistant Secretary General for the UN, and I love being around him because he is such a noble character. I remember at one point he started in his life this idea that the path he would take, this walk from his house, and he had a home in Costa Rica. He helped develop the University there of Peace in Costa Rica. And he decided one day that this road that he would walk every day would be the cleanest road in the world, and so he always carried a plastic bag, and every day along his route he would pick up all the trash that people had unconsciously littered on this particular road. He started off doing this for a while, but then it became like his mission that everywhere he went he wanted to see the cleanliness, he wanted to see the beauty everywhere, and then people started joining in. I can remember my own plastic bag aspect of life with the park I used to go to and making sure that it was all clean, but he had this vibration of nobility. He had this vibration of infusing himself with these magnificent qualities, and one of them was a cleanliness as close to godly. So everywhere I go I want to see cleanliness. You see now, I for some reason he just came into my spirit this morning, because not only he was the one of in the United Nations that because of his love of peace he was the one who brought in more religions into the United Nations, many of them of the quote-unquote New Age, New Thought representative. He the one who did that because he had such a noble consciousness around peace, of which he wanted to infuse that into the United Nations. You were born to win, you were born to willingly initiate nobility. Now here's the deal, no one is born a hater, no one is born a bigot, no one is born a Homophobe, no one is born greedy and stingy no more, no one is born with a sense of racial superiority. Can you imagine infants sitting in the bed they're laying their infants and say, oh, I'm next to a black guy, oh God, you know, oh Jesus, I'm next to OG guy, I'm next to a Palestinian, I'm next to a Jewish person. Infants are brainwashed into ignoble consciousness. Ignoble is the opposite of nobility. Ignoble is the diminishment of the light of the spirit of which individuals are brainwashed into. We are here born to ignite willingly, to ignite true nobility to such a degree that there is a dynamic that takes over our existence. So, just as no one is born hating anyone who hates anyone who judges anyone who lives in that lesser frequency has been hypnotized at some level. Now they may not know they're hypnotized, but here's a little clue: if you hate anyone, you're hypnotized. If you think you're superior to anyone else, you are hypnotized. If you think you have the right to have power over anyone else, you are under a hypnotic spell that you did not give yourself, that came from some nefarious hypnotism that took over your mind. You know, there are countries in this world, I won't name them, that when there are catastrophes around the world and tsunamis and things like that, and kids are left as orphans, there are countries that actually go in and get these orphans, bring them back to their country and hypnotize them to be in their armies to go to, because they're feeling they don't have a home, so they become a home to whoever takes them in, and then they become a part of the army to go out and kill, to go out and live in that lesser frequency. So that's an extreme case. The moderate cases are the stuff that happens on the news, where individuals are just flooded with all kinds of nefarious hypnotism and they're brainwashed and they don't even know it. If you are a Republican and hate a Democrat, if you are a Democrat and you hate a Republican, you're hypnotized into hate, because ultimately there is an idea, a perfect pattern of love and beauty and right action is trying to take place, and it must be caught, it must be caught, collaborated with, dialogued about, and ultimately anchored on earth. And that's not just political parties, that's nation states who are lost in an egoic sense of separation. Not here, not now. You are breaking free. How do you break free? You must no longer be haunted by your past, you must be haunted by the pull of your glorious future. Woo, I love that. HOK, you must be no longer be haunted by your past, constantly dredging it up about all the things that have happened. You must be haunted and pulled by that thing that is within you, that's trying to express itself. And I tell you something, if you begin to speak more about the possibility, you begin to speak about your willingness to initiate your nobility, willingness to initiate the glory of God within you, the willingness to initiate the great infinite potential that is within you, the willingness to initiate the goals and the missions that you, the way you want to live your life, as that begins to dominate your conversation. I'm talking to your inner conversation as well. Mainly you will be pulled by these magnificent dreams within you, the reason you have come here, born to win, and they will begin to take over your life. That does not go without a little bit of gnashing and wing of teeth, because as I was saying in the way of meditation service, we were all living in a certain paradigm, a certain point of view, a certain way of thinking, and that way of thinking, as it begins to be threatened, it tries to pull you and keep you into that present way of thinking. So right when you're about to grow, that paradigm does everything it can to keep you small, to keep you in that limited way of thinking. And so when it becomes at a fever pitch, all manner of stuff begins to come up in you. The ego begins to spew fear, doubt, worry. Stay small, stay here, protect yourself until you continue with sincerity and discipline to do your inner work, and then you begin to see the egoic structure is lying to you. It's a lie, and the father of lies about lack, limitation, scarcity, not enoughness. It's a father of lies. You see, and you begin to break through, and you begin to see, oh my God, I'm surrounded by love and beauty and intelligence. Everything I can want, hope for and desire is here, and it didn't just come here, it's always been here. But I had eyes and I couldn't see, I had ears but I couldn't hear, 'cause all I could see and hear with this thinking, it's in my own mind, but I was blind, but now I see. And so in the world we're looking at, that the old paradigm is at a fever pitch. You see, it's trying to hold people into its limited clutches of wars and rumors of war and justification for war. You see, And in greed as a normal way of being on the planet, and people are actually taking sides and not even dealing with a real issue. No war, no more. They're dealing with little tiny things now. As I said earlier in the services, we don't deal with evil or good, we deal more with maturity and immaturity. Just like you wouldn't say that a tree that's not bearing fruit is an evil tree, you would just say that tree is immature right now. It's not bearing fruit yet, so we don't talk about our lesser brothers and sisters who are warmongers, who are haters, who are bigots, who are prejudiced. We don't call them evil, we just say that there are immature brothers and sisters. They're not bearing the fruit yet of kindness, loving kindness, and compassion and mercy, except for what they may think are their own people, their own kind. You see, they haven't matured yet to that. Loving kindness is for everybody, that peace is for everybody, joy is for everybody, love is for everybody. So we don't get into good and evil, we get into mature and immature. So we hold all of our brothers and sisters, mature or immature, into our heart and heart space with the awareness that every single being is born to win. Even though some have may been corrupted by thoughts that are not their own. Are you following what I'm saying here? Yes. You picking this up? So individuals that are breaking free during this fever-pitch time in which the old paradigm is trying to pull people back into normalization of war and war implements and things of that particular nature. There are individuals that are breaking free from that, and you're beginning to see a different possibility on the planet. These are the mature beings that vibrationally layer is high, holding a space like a vibrational placeholder for the realm of good to express itself. I'm talking about embodied in human beings, now disembodied beings that channel through people and books and things like that. It's sweet, it's wonderful, it's inspirational, but it is much more powerful when an actual human being embodies a quality, because they're embodied it, which means they become a vibrational living tuning fork for the next stage of human evolution, and just their presence on the planet, whether it's a spiritual community, individual practitioners, people sitting in their prayer moments at home, and they're embodying the vibration of peace and love and harmony and wholeness beyond opinion of right and wrong. They're changing the world, you see, because the highest vibration always wins. It's always so. You just ask yourself on a regular basis, you just check in and you just see wherever you are, you see, am I vibrating with a sense of true nobility right now, and am I magnifying the qualities along them to infuse them into my personality of love, generosity, compassion, mercy, kindness, or have I gotten caught up in a loop of separation? Just ask. It's not. This is not judgment. You got to understand something here. When you are in the frequency of unconditional love, that's not a frequency of judgment that can exist in the same spot. Judgment and love cannot, they're different vibrations, just like worry and love are different vibrations. And so you're not judging yourself, but you are aware of yourself in a non-judgmental space, so that when you fall prey to the conundrum of lack, limitation, separation, scarcity, not enoughness, etc., racial superiority, bigotry, hate, justification for wars and things of that particular nature, you've gotten caught in the undertow of the lowest frequency of the human dimension. Just got caught. Whoop, got caught. You rise up, catch the feeling tone of love and peace and harmony, joy, and then you become pulled by a strange attractor field called your real future, which is your real self, becoming conscious of itself as your life. It haunts you. Why do I say that? Because when those insights and revelations begin to knock on your door, your limited perception perceives them as something negative. I had a nightmare, but oftentimes those nightmares is your glory knocking on the door of your heart, saying you're growing into something. It's the caterpillar knock, it's the butterfly knocking on the door, the caterpillar, and the caterpillar saying, I can't get into that. No, it's knocking. You think it's a nightmare, but it's actually your higher self saying, come on, you're living too small. Ignite, be willing to ignite the nobility and the love that's within you, and then you'll begin to live in the feeling tone of all needs met. Your spirit is saying to you, I have come right now, yes, to make those that are blind see, but I have come to blind those that think they see, that are so wrapped up in their opinion, in their limited point of view. In their self-righteousness I have come to wake them up, for these individuals and all of us fall into this lot every now and then, have eyes that can't see, have ears but can't hear. Try this as an experiment. Close your eyes for a moment. I'm going to say a sentence. I want you to repeat it to yourself. I am love. All of my needs are met. Just think that and hear it in your awareness. I am love. All of my needs are met. Now as you open your eyes, let me ask you something. You heard that right in. Okay, you did not hear that with your ears, because you didn't say anything. You heard that with your awareness. You see, so you didn't say anything, but you heard it anyway. You heard that in your awareness. So when you go unconscious, the thinking of opinions and points of view and worries and doubts and future rising is being heard by your awareness. You are here to interrupt that. That's why you do affirmations. You're interrupting that. That's why you pray. You're interrupting that. That's why you meditate. You're interrupting all that stuff that's going on. A lot of it you've inherited. It's that you didn't begin. You didn't have that. Wasn't you didn't create the genesis of that. It's just there. Just worried without fear, complaining. Worried out fear, complaining, and you just aware of it. Now you're interrupting that so that what begins to dominate your awareness is I am love. All of my needs are met. I'm receptive. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. All of my needs are met. I don't know how it's going to demonstrate. It's not my business. All of my needs are met. You begin to hear that, and then whenever you go unconscious and you begin to hear that old thinking, it's not really thinking, it's called mentation. When you begin to hear those cyclical thoughts, you just interrupt it. No, I mean you may not want to do this out loud. Walking down the street, people will look at you like they looked at Whoopi Goldberg in the movie Ghost, and she just walking around talking. No, stop it. You just kind of nope, you're not entering here. Nope. Not entering here. I have eyes to see and have ears to hear, and what I am listening to is the presence of love and beauty and harmony. Now you become sincere in that. There will be a fever moment, a moment in which that paradigm that is exuding that limitation will begin to break down, and when it begins to break down, it's going to try really hard to keep you, and you're going to feel bad. I've said over the years that a bad day for the ego is a good day for the soul. It's going to feel bad, because you're getting rid of stuff, you see. But if you sincerely continue to do the inner work, this is why we invite you to the classes. You see, even the free workshops that the practitioners, graduates are giving you, you see, so that you can be in a community and you can have a level of practice so you can begin to see. Now I'll tell you this, once you see it, you can't unsee it. There you go. Once you see that which is real and eternal, it becomes a pull star dynamic that keeps pulling you. You will not be permanently happy until there's a continual dynamic with it, and then you will in your nobility discover what gift you are to give while you're on the planet, what you're to share, what you're to generate, your creativity. Everybody can't do everything, but everyone can do something, and everyone has incarnated, born to win, born to willingly initiate nobility and greatness in ways beyond our wildest imagining. Understand this. Do you realize how old those that pinned this particular nation into existence, you know how old they were? They were between the ages of 18 to 25. Revolutionary zeal, all things possible. Now we're living in a time where we got old guys who have lost their zeal, who are working for a limited paradigm. It's up to the population. Come on, to wake up, not follow the dictates of old men who have lost their savor and their salt, and begin to ask, what is it that's mine to do on the planet at this time in human history? So when you see the students out on the streets, I heard somebody say that they were Pramas and they were anti-Jewish. Not true. These individuals are holding the space for peace on the planet. Your Western media would try to paint it somewhere else, but they're young. We want to embrace our young spirit in whatever area of life we are in. We want to catch a vision, be haunted by the pull of our future, and be willing to anchor heaven, which is peace, love, joy, wisdom, harmony, mercy, compassion, loving kindness on earth. And they become aware when that thinkness and that mentation that the consciousness is listening to, when it's aberrant. And let me tell you this, I know it's difficult, because that those aberrant thoughts, they're stemming from Sometimes real-life experiences that we've had, some bad things have happened to us, some bad things have been spoken about us, and we've developed a defense mechanism around that closed our heart, and then these thoughts loop, but that particular experience is not the first and final idea of us. That's an identity crisis, something passing through our awareness, and so you have to break it. You have to say, no, that's not true. No, yeah, that happened, but that's not true about me. No, that it happened, but it's not determined my destiny. And you come back to what's listening. I'm the consciousness is listening. What's consciousness listening to? I am divine love. All of my needs are met. I am divine love. All of my needs are met until the conscious mind and the subconscious mind are in agreement, in alignment, and then the superconscious Christ higher self takes over. Oh, you got to catch this, you got to catch it, you got to catch this. When you're praying to God, you are praying to have a realization that your life is one with God, and when an insight happens, that's you talking to you. That is your higher self talking. Yes. Deep calling unto deep, and when you answer with receptivity, deep answers deep. Oh, listen to this again and catch underneath that which cannot be spoken in word but can be spoken in vibration and frequency. Oh God, I love life. What is the theme? Right seeing, right being. Let's live. Living is the willingness to initiate nobility. You were born to win. Say it. I was born to win. 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 To share prosperity, share creativity, love, peace, joy, beauty, harmony, wellness, Hess, well-being, spiritual power, all of that. And more, all that and more. I'm free in this moment, free. Somebody out there scream about it. God is good, life is good. Oh. Oh yes, oh, you know what that is. I'm the present. Omniscient, omnipotent, I'm the active. Oh, that's the description of the presence of God, closer than our breathing, nearer than our hands and feet. Our real life, our real being is rise up. In that, let's rise up in that frequency, and you will be a lover, not a hater. You be a lover, not a hater. Haters will come after you as you grow, because mediocrity attacks excellence. But you as Emerson one. Not Emerson, but as Einstein once said when he was being severely criticized by breaking into a new understanding of science with the theory of relativity, when he was harboring African Americans in his home during a time of segregation. When he was speaking out about world peace, they asked him, how do you handle all of this criticism? He said, in substance, arrows of hate have been shot in my direction many times, but they come from a world in which I do not inhabit. We're living in a different world, lovers. We're living in a different world, lovers. Lovers of God, lovers of peace, lovers of beauty, lovers of all humanity, not just a select few. All humanity are our brothers and sisters. Every single being on this planet is our brother or sister or auntie or mother or daddy or granddaddy. Every single being. And if you've gotten caught up in a loop of separation, you've been brainwashed. Now we're going to walk that brain, and we're going to say you are a lover of God and a lover of humanity. You see, even now, let's pray, please. Let's do this. Remember, we didn't come to pray to God to give us anything. No, those are old. It's a good start, it's a good start. We never curse the start. We don't curse the stairs when you get an elevator, so don't. We don't curse the old, we just understand that things evolve. And so now we pray, and we start with gratitude. We just turn within, and we just say to ourselves in substance, oh, I'm so grateful to be alive. Say that out loud. Say, I am grateful that I exist, grateful that I exist. I am grateful I'm the image and likeness of God. I'm grateful that my life is the life of God. So in this vibrational frequency of gratitude and thanksgiving, as we close the outer eye and begin to see with the first eye, the spiritual eye, into the realm of the all good, we cannot help but to be grateful and thankful. We cannot help but to ultimately recognize that this presence is everywhere. Every path with heart has said in one way, shape, form or another that this presence is omni. There is no spot where God is not omni. Matter of fact, my goddaughter Dana named her daughter Omni, and whenever she watches, she said, they're calling my Name Godfathers calling my name omni. Present and now we feel. We feel a sense of wanting oneness. It's not blasphemous to feel one with God. You know what? Blasphemy is if you could blaspheme God to limit. God to limit God. God is unlimited and so are we. We're one with this illimitable infinite power. And from this sense of oneness the vibrational frequency called the Word of God is being spoken. Let there be light and love and beauty, and let light, love and beauty and intelligence be conscious of itself. Let it be conscious of itself as each and every one of us, that we become the walking and talking exclamation points of love, beauty, intelligence, power, abundance, opulence, prosperity and compassion. Let it be us, let it be us. That's the word that's being spoken right now. Here's the question: will you allow yourself to be made whole? Will you be made whole? Yes, where you let yourself reveal wholeness, wellness, well-being, health, harmony, prosperity, joy, creativity, spiritual power. Will you? Yes, then somewhere within you're saying, I was born to win. I'm willingly initiating nobility. All IGN noble traits are being dissolved now that we may be free. Oh, feel the activation that's happening here. Yield to it, surrender to it, give thanks for it. Feel this. This is a feeling universe. Feel your oneness, feel the love, feel the support. Help them. What if it's true you have everything you need? What if it's true you could live your wildest dreams? Will you run and hide or go along for the ride? Test the current and tide in the ocean of possibilities. What if you knew? What if you knew? What if you knew that the brilliance you're mining is you? What if you knew? What if you knew that the infinite thriving is you? Music. Music. What if it's true that there's never need for shame? What if it's true that there's power in your music? Pain. Will you run and hide or go along for the ride? Test the current and tide in the ocean of possibilities. What if you knew? What if you knew? What if you knew that the brilliance you're mining is you? What if you knew? What if you knew that the infinite thriving is you? Music. What if you knew all of that? How would you act? Somewhere within you you know that the universal presence through the universe has said in substance tag, you're it, you're what you're looking for, you are the answer. This vast presence, as vast and as limitless as it is, must come through your consciousness. Think about that.